All right. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for our business development series. My name is Sarah Garahan. I'm the Director of Marketing at Malarkey Associates. Malarkey Associates is a rep company that represents the Midwest and the Northeast regions. So if you're from either of those parts of the world, you're in the right place. Dan Belisario is the Northeast Regional Manager. He will be instructing our class. And we're going to go over some of the common frustrations on the job site and some solutions that we have available to you that will help quiet those frustrations. We have some core products, the NovaLink, the M1, both cure under moisture, saving you time, worrying about weather considerations, and yeah, it's an awesome product. And I will also just preface this with a quick story. We found ChemLink out of the roofing industry, and we saw a great opportunity for the pool and spa industry. And we've been working together ever since. And I have to say, we hit the nail on the head. It's a product that grows for us every year, and we're really excited to represent it. It's simple. Everybody should have this on their truck. Every distributor should have this on their shelves. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to you, Dan.
Thank you, Sarah. You can just keep on going. You're doing a great job. And she is correct. We got started in 1991. ChemLink was founded by a guy named Phil Giorgio, who was following this technology over in Japan, and he had worked for this company called Sonneborn. And he left Sonneborn to start ChemLink, and his mantra was "do no harm to my employees," which led to his whole company becoming. He was way ahead of the green movement before the green movement was popular. When the green movement kind of started kicking in around 2005, 2006, we had already been green for 10 plus years. So we kind of just rolled into it. And we cut our teeth in the roofing world. And the roofing world's not an easy place to perform in. Why? Because it just gets cooked by the sun. It takes Mother Nature's worst, whether it's UV, whether it's heat, whether it's cold, whether it's rain, whether it's sleet. It takes snow loads. And we've been performing on the roof ever since 1991. So we have a long track history there. And in 2016, we got acquired by our parent company, Suprema. Great company. You can kind of see the mammoth in my over my shoulder there. So that's our Connor, help me with that word. What is that? That's our emblem, our mascot.
Company.
Yeah. So anyway, Suprema has been around since 1908. We are family owned. We are an international company. I'm not going to get into all the slides about our R&D plants and about all our plants. Let me just tell you, we're well over $1 billion. We have over 10,000 employees. We're a great company with great people, and we make great products. And I'm so glad that Suprema bought ChemLink, because they've done nothing but enhance us. They've invested in people. They've invested in the plant. They put a $10 million machine in a couple of years ago where we dump polymers on one end and it spits a tube out at this end. So 2 people to run this machine. We just finished putting on a 50,000 square foot finished goods warehouse. What's that mean to you? That means we're manufacturing product to inventory. So when one of your distributors orders product, it's on the floor. We put it on a pallet, we put it on a truck, and out it goes. So that means faster delivery to your distributor, so they have product for you. So Suprema's been great along those lines. I know you came here to hear about what ChemLink can do for you, so I'm going to start my presentation now. Can you see my screen?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, as you can see, we're ChemLink. We're part of the Suprema. As you can see right here, we're a Suprema Group company. We manufacture high performance sealants for pools, spas, tile. We're in a lot of different industries, We mentioned roofing, obviously pool and spa. We're in the concrete world. We are in the HVAC world. We're in the solar world. We're in windows and doors. We make high performance sealants for all sorts of exterior applications. So peace of mind is a beautiful thing. You know, the very nature of what you do means that seams happen. Today, we're going to talk about how ChemLink helps you get the job done quickly, cost effectively, and beautifully. I always like to talk a little bit about myself, just to tell you who I am and where I come from and so forth. I'm the ChemLink District Manager. My official title is I'm the Mid-Atlantic District Sales Manager, but I run the pool industry for the whole Northeast. So a little background. This lovely young lady down here is my lovely bride, Joanna. We've been married since 1999, so we're going to celebrate our 27th wedding anniversary this summer. This young lady over here in the corner is my daughter, Gigi. She's graduated from the University of South Florida. She's now living in South Florida. She's working for Michelin. We're very proud of her. She's 22 years old and beautiful as ever. This young man here on the surfboard's my son, Jack. He's 19 years old. He goes to Drexel University. He's studying civil engineering. He chases the waves around. There he is, and that's in El Salvador. In fact, he's going to come home next month, which is this weekend. And I think he's going back to Nicaragua this time to go surfing. So good for him. I live down along the coastline, so most weekends you can find me sitting on the beach when it's not beach season. Lots of times I'm doing renovations around my house. I'm getting ready to build a shed from the ground up. So pour the slab, install the foundation, and then put the walls and the roof on it. So I'm going to probably start that as soon as all this weight stuff goes away. I also like to work out. I like to push the weights around. Take these two knuckleheads. This is Moose right here on the chair, and that's Kona, for walks and swims and things along those lines. So it's a lot of those things I like to do and kind of go from there. So it's a little bit about me. So I'm going to get into our presentation now. Seams happen. We help you cope. How do we help you cope? Well, does anyone here do coping joints? Okay, I see you adjusting. So I'm assuming that you all do.
Yes.
Say that again. I didn't hear it. I'm sorry.
I was just saying yes. Yes, we
Okay,
do.
thank you. Your name's not up there, so I don't know what your name is. You can take yourself up from my.
I'm Andrew with Heschmeyer Pools.
Hey, Andrew. Nice to meet you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
What's the sealant you use for your coping joints, if you don't mind me asking?
I believe we just use the Sika brand with just from Home Depot.
All right. You're not the only one. There's a lot of people that use Sika out there. And we've been converting them one at a time. And Sika, there's another brand called Tremco, right? And I mentioned Sonneborn earlier. That's NP1, and NP makes a self-leveling sealant as well. That was the company that Phil came from that started before he started ChemLink. And I'm going to say it's going on 3 years now that Sika bought Sonneborn. So they're the same company nowadays. And same technology, polyurethane technology. So what we're going to talk about is the challenges that come with coping joints, right? So you have a coping stone and then you have a pool deck, right? So you have lots of times it can be two different substrates. The coping stone could be a bluestone. It could be another type of material. The pool deck could be concrete. The pool deck could be wood. The pool deck could be brick or some other sort of decking material, right? And what happens is the pool deck expands and contracts at one rate, and the coping stones expand and contract at one rate. And you need a product that allows the coping stones to expand and contract at their rate versus the other one, and the joint in between it has got to handle those two products moving at different rates. And that's where ChemLink comes in. We are a polyether manufacturer, which means we're a hybrid. When we're a hybrid, I'm going to slide the slide back over here so I look at you guys. When we're a hybrid, we use polyurethane and we use silicone. We take the best of both worlds, we combine them, and we keep the positives and we get rid of the negatives. So what's great about polyurethane is it sticks to everything. It's moisture cure, it's paintable, and it's great adhesive. What don't we like about polyurethanes? They off gas when they react with moisture. They if they're exposed to UV, they tend to yellow. The light color's yellow, dark colors fade. You tend to get bubbles in the material because the polyurethanes are loaded in carcinogens and isocyanates. So every time you tool polyurethane, you're dealing with a carcinogen. So you really don't want to be touching that type of stuff. The other problem with it is the isocyanates in it, which aren't good for us either, react with the moisture in the substrates and they form carbon dioxide and you get these bubbles in your system. And when that happens, you have to go back and pop all the little bubbles. Have you ever done that, Andrew? Pop the bubbles in your seams?
I suppose so from time to time.
Yeah, and that happens because the moisture in the substrate, because it rained, concrete absorbs water like a sponge absorbs water. And then the sun comes out and it dries the top, but it does dry it. But what happens is the moisture goes deeper into that substrate because moisture moves from warm to cold. So if the sun's beating on the top part, down here in the dirt and below the substrate, it's cooler. So moisture is going to go deeper into that substrate because it moves from warm to cool. Okay. So what happens is there's moisture in that concrete. Then you come along and you put your polyurethane in there, and the moisture reacts with the isocyanates. It forms carbon dioxide. You get these little bubbles, and they rise to the top, much like a can of soda. When you pour it into a glass, you get all the bubbles rising. That's what happens with your seams. So, a little sidetrack there, but so what's nice about ChemLink is we don't have isocyanates in our product. So you're never going to have to deal with those bubbles. You will get some air bubbles from when you put the product in there, but they're going to come to the top. They're going to pop on their own, and they're not going to affect your finish. So we're going to give you a product that's going to perform well. It's not going to off color. It's not going to discolor. It's not going to be yellow. It's not going to break down because we have bubbles in it. It's not going to shrink like polyurethanes do. It's not going to outgas. You're going to have a product that you can put in. It's going to be there today, tomorrow, 10 days from now, 10 years from now. So it's a nice product. So everyone on this call, Dennis, Jamie, Charlie, Andrew, you all are in the backyard experience. You're all about building a beautiful showpiece that people are proud to bring their friends, their neighbors, their family to their backyard to share in the afternoon or a weekend, and you're helping them build those backyard oases. We're going to show you a few ways that ChemLink helps you take care of all the finishing details. It applies easily, it looks beautiful, and it lasts a long time. So as business owners, right, we schedule our days and we schedule our weeks back. We're doing this job today. Tomorrow we're going over here and we're doing this job. The next day we're doing this one and so forth. And what interrupts that? The weather is the big one, right? So with us, if you have wet conditions, rainstorms, right, coming, you can use us regardless of the weather. The only time you can't use us is in a rainstorm. And even then you could, but your finish isn't going to be the way you want it to be because you're going to have raindrop marks on the top of it. But the minute that rain's done, you can go out there and put our product down. You can't do that with polyurethanes because you will get bubbles. I'm going to just kind of jump to the next page like this that pop up. So you have to be cognizant of the rain in when you're using polyurethane sealants. Why? Because of the isocyanates in it. With our product, again, we don't have the isocyanates, so you don't get these types of bubbles that form. Our products are also moisture cured. So if it did rain and there's moisture in those substrates, right, we're going to cure from the sides in, from the bottom up, and the top down. They're going to skin over in about a half hour. Another advantage over our urethane partners that can take 6+ hours to skin over. When our product skins over, know what that means? Dirt pickup stops. We're no longer sticky, right? So at that point, your job is looking clean, it's looking finished. And even if a dog came along and stepped on it, it might be soft underneath it 2 hours later, but the dog's not going to puncture it and get it on its paws and track it through the pool deck or wherever the dog happens to go. So once it skins over, it will be completely cured, especially in most of your joints. It'll be completely cured in 24 hours. Within 2 hours, have that dog step on it. You don't have anything to worry about it along those lines. So it's skinning over relatively quickly means if you happen to do that job in the morning, technically, you could have people swimming in that pool that afternoon. So, I mean, it won't be all the way cured. It'll be soft underneath, but the next day it'll be all the way cured through. Not too concerned about that. You can see our products. We make NovaLink self-leveling. We make NovaLink 35. Self-leveling is exactly that. It's designed for horizontal applications, coping joints, cement work, balconies, parking lots, driveways, anything that's flat. NovaLink 35 is the same exact product, but it's what the pool world calls gun grade. It's not designed to go vertical. It's what they call non-sag, non-slump. So if I was to gun it on a wall and draw a line where I stopped, it's not going to run past that point. We've all painted at some point in our life. We've had runs in paint. You don't get that with our product. It's what we call non-sag, non-slump. The pool world likes to call it gun grade. So why do we use NovaLink 35 in a horizontal application? Well, sometimes we have uneven decks. The coping joint's here, but the pool deck has settled. And now you can only go up to the low point, and then the self-leveling will run onto that low point. So if you have an uneven pool deck, we use our product NovaLink 35. If you use our self-leveling product, you're just going to gun that in. There's no tooling required. It self-tools, it self-levels. It's going to skin over, give you a nice smooth finish. The NovaLink 35 is, again, a multi-purpose, moisture-cure construction sealant formulated to work in damp, dry, and cold conditions. Do any of you guys do work in this type of weather? Go ahead. I don't know your name, sir. I'm sorry.
Paul?
Hey, Paul. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, I'm with Andrew. I'm with Heschmeyer Pools. I own the company. And we do work this time of year too. And we, obviously around good weather. We're in the Kansas City area, so not too many days where we can work. This year's been good. Mike, I had a question though about that vertical crack repair. Is it like if you're losing water out the side of, the pool wall, we do we usually do a 2-part epoxy if the pool's full. If we have it down, I've tried to use different things over the years, but I do think we used a Nova product under water before, but does that seal? I mean, with when you fill the pool, will that seal?
They get used for expansion joints. That'll answer your question for that application, right?
Uh-huh.
Because you got two sides of that pool, and there's an expansion joint that allows both of them to move at different rates, right? And they use our M1 marine product for those expansion joints, and you can easily use the M1 or the M1 marine. I like the marine better just because we're in a chlorinated pool, and it's going to handle the chlorine the best.
Gotcha.
Okay, because I don't know if I'm going into a residential pool or if I'm going into a commercial pool. And when we're going into a commercial pool, what do we have? Typically, it's some kid 16 to 18 years old that happens to be quote unquote the pool boy, and he does the vacuuming of the pool. He monitors the pH and the chlorine levels. And does he always do the test and measure? No, lots of times they just dump stuff in and eyeball it, right? So you could overtreat the pool with chlorine. The M1 Marine is going to be the best product for those, for when you have someone that's over chlorinating a pool.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for your question. The there's a chat up here. Someone asked me a question in that. I'm going to ask Trees and Sarah, if you see a question, because I'm looking at a screen in front of me and I have the team over here and I'm not always looking at everyone over there. So if there's a question, please bring it to my attention.
We will. There's no question. And just for everyone's awareness, we just linked in the chat our entire class schedule. I just wanted to put it there for your awareness.
Thank you. So, so also going back to Paul and Andrew for that matter, you're in Kansas City. You have winter there. I've watched the Kansas City Chiefs play in the snow.
Yeah.
Right. So what I like about our product from your perspective is if you want to do a coping joint in November or December or February or March or whenever you're doing it, is our products don't freeze. And it's a job that you don't have to do in the spring, the summer, or the early part of the fall. You could schedule this work for a time where you're not as busy. Again, helping you with your schedules and allowing you to do work when you're slower. Our product doesn't freeze. I will send if anybody on this call wants some samples, we'll be glad to send you some samples. But put it in your freezer. Leave it sit there for a night. Leave it sit there for a week. Leave it sit there for a month. I don't really care. But get it nice and cold. Then cut it open, poke a hole in it, put it in your caulk gun, and gun it. And you'll see it guns. Now, will it gun better when it's 70 degrees? Yes. Because it's just going to be more pliable. It's going to be warmer versus being 0 degrees from your freezer. But it's still going to gun. It's still going to tool. It's still going to cure. It's still going to react. Wintertime applications, just be careful of frost and ice. We stick to everything, including frost and ice. So if we stick to frost and ice, and then it gets warm, and that frost and ice melts, we're stuck to the wrong thing, and we're not stuck to the substrate. So make sure you just, if it's that cold, if it's below 32, hit it with a heat gun, and go from there. Anyone's got any other questions on this slide before I hit the next one? Okay. Okay, the next one. There we go. We were kind of just talking about the Seco product being used, no smell, no waste, no bubbles to pop, right? So the Seco product has solvents in it. That's what gives it the plasticizers and allows it to be a sealant. So there's no smell to our product because we don't have any VOCs in our product. You can use our product inside or outside. So if you have a commercial pool at a hotel, a YMCA, wherever, a school, no one's going to be complaining that place smells like VOCs. Okay, because we don't have any VOCs in our products. There's no bubbles to pop, which is, we're kind of showing again down here on this picture of these bubbles that can form from the isocyanates reacting with the moisture in this particular case, the concrete. So we are a green product, thus the plan on the top. So no odor, no VOCs, no solvents. There's safety and use for Paul, you own the company. Andrew works for you. This product is
And-
safe for Andrew to use. There's no carcinogens in it, no isocyanates. You don't have to worry about causing harm to your employees or your clients. There's no chemical cure, so there's no mixing involved. Again, no outgassing. No one had to go back and pop bubbles. It's going to give you a smooth, clean finish. The other end of this is we apply with all the OSHA, state, local, and federal air quality regulations. Again, no carcinogens, no substances listed on California Prop 65. So your repairs are safe and long lasting. Anybody got any questions on this one?
No questions?
Fire away.
No questions, Dan.
Oh,
Just
okay,
confirming no
so-
questions.
Okay. So this here page is kind of talking more about our NovaLink self-leveling and our NovaLink 35. Our self-leveling comes in 4 colors: charcoal, gray, stone, black, and gray. And and I apologize, as of December this year, we introduced white, the self-leveling. So my slide needs to be updated. So white is now a standard color. I will warn you though, if you put white on the ground, just for the nature of where it is on the ground, it's going to get dirty and it's not going to stay white. I have white at my house and it gets dirty, and after a while I just get some denatured alcohol or isopropyl and I put it on a rag and I just kind of go around. It cleans up like it's brand new. So just when you have a client that's putting white down, it's inevitably going to happen just for where it is on the spot. So my management team has always fought us on the white. I'm like, I understand that, but customers are asking for white. Can we have white, please? So we finally did it. NovaLink 35, we do these in 10.1 ounce cartridges. I'm sorry, let me come back over here for a second. We do NovaLink self-leveling in 28 ounce cartridges. Where did I see that pouch? I think it was right here. This guy's got a pouch right here. It comes in a 2-liter pouch. You have this little nozzle on it. You cut the nozzle to the spot. You put the nozzle on it. You don't need a 28 ounce caulk gun. You can do it with the pouch, and they work really nicely. If you ask me, we did a video a little while back, and we had the pool contractor with 2 of their people using the 28 ounce cartridges, and I was using the pouches, and I did half the pool, and they did a quarter each in the same amount of time. So the pouches work a little bit faster, if you ask me, in my humble opinion. So NovaLink 35 is our gun grade product, 19 colors, 10.1 ounce cartridges, and also 20 ounce sausages if you want sausages. Again, great color stability. It's not going to suntan or turn colors or yellow on you. If you should ever want to paint this, it's paintable after 24 hours. Again, no bubbles. These products are extremely flexible, so they're going to adapt through all the joint movements of expansion, contraction of the coping joint at one rate versus the pool deck of another. So that's pretty much going to wrap up the NovaLink self-leveling in 35 for my slides. Any questions on this one before I go to the next one? All right, thank you. And if you do have a question, I'll be glad to go back to it. So not a problem. M1, this was the product that was Phil's first sealant that he manufactured. It's polyether, so all those benefits we've been talking about. No smell, 100% solids, it doesn't shrink, no VOCs, uses in in a residential application, use this in a commercial application, use this in a restricted area where there's not a whole lot of, use this inside, I guess is the right word for it, because no one's going to complain about the smell. So it's all these products are made out of polyether, which is the joint, which is the hybrid sealant I was mentioning earlier between polyurethanes and silicone. So M1 is a structural adhesive. It's got 390 pounds per square inch of shear strength. M1 Marine's even stronger at 420 pounds. They both move 35%. Does everybody understand when I talk about joint movement about 35%? I'll just kind of give it to you real quickly. If I had a coping joint or even this crack right here, and I was filling that with M1 or NovaLink self-leveling or NovaLink 35, they all are moving what we call 35%. What would happen is what's on this side of the joint can expand and contract at whatever that substrate is. And on this one, it could be a different substrate with different expansion and contraction coefficients. So if it's 40 degrees, this one's moving at a certain rate, and this one's moving at a different rate versus 80 degrees. So what happens is this one can expand and contract at whatever it's moving at versus this one, and the joint's going to handle it. So when you have something that moves 35%, this gap in the summertime, when everything expands due to heat gain, things get bigger as they get warmer. That joint is going to shrink. So if I had a 1-inch gap at 35%, it could contract all the way down to a 5/8 of an inch. In the wintertime, when everything's cold and things shrink because it's cold, that same 1-inch gap can now go out to 1 inch and 3/8. So we are moving 3/8 of an inch to the positive and to the negative along those lines. And that's what we mean by 35% joint movement. And that's why we're called sealants, because sealants start at 25% and go up. So this product M1's got 35% joint movement. It's moisture cure. It works on damp and wet surfaces. We talked about roofing earlier, right? We cut our teeth in the roofing world as an emergency roof repair product. It's raining. A roofer's got to go up on the roof. He has no idea what's up there until he gets up there. It could be a variety of different roofing materials. It could be a chimney that's leaking that's got masonry, metal, and shingles. We're going to stick to everything. And that's the beautiful thing about M1 and NovaLink 35 and NovaLink self-leveling is we're going to stick to everything. We're going to work on damp and wet surfaces, and we can even work underwater. I like the M1 Marine product the best because it's going to handle chlorinated water well. The M1, the regular M1. I don't know about out in the Midwest, but we had a pretty darn cold winter this year. And I can promise you here in the Northeast, when they pull these pool covers off starting next month, they're going to find a lot of tiles in the bottom of the pool from the freeze thaw going on. So there's going to be a lot of tile pops. What's nice about the M1 is you can go get those tiles, put some M1 on the back of it, and put it up, and it's going to stay, it's going to cure, and it's not going to move. And it's going to be much stronger than those other tiles that are adhered with the grouting that they used. Now you can't grout with M1, although I have a pool builder. He manufactures fiberglass pool and he grouts with M1, and I want to go see how he does that. He says, I put it on, I get some Dawn dish detergent, I put on a green scour pad, and I just scour it off. I'm like, I'm really leery of that. I got to go see it. So I'm going to tell you, you grout your pools, your tiles the traditional way with grout, put it in there with your floats, let it haze over, hit it with your rag, take that haze off, do it the right way. I'm not going to recommend using M1 as grouting. Too much work, too much taping, too much time. So M1 is going to work as a tile repair product, but also if you have a cracked skimmer, it can fix a cracked skimmer. You got a crack in a stair well area, it can fix that crack. You got a leak around a light fixture or a heater vent, it can work in those applications. And underwater. Typically, if you have a leak, water's leaking out of that and so forth. We have plenty of people that wear scuba tanks and use M1 in leak detection applications, and it's the product that they carry in their truck. So it's a nice product.
I'm sorry. Quick question. Can this be applied underwater? Do we need to drop the water level in order to put it on and then raise it back up once it's cured, or we can apply as it's, underwater?
Yes, sir. You can apply it underwater.
Okay. Thank you.
And Andrew, I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is. I will give you some tubes. Try it. If it does everything I say it does, it's available from your favorite pool distributor. I don't know who we have out in the Midwest. I can tell you over this way, we got Pool Corp, which is probably out in your way, right?
Yes.
We have Heritage, which is a growing pool distributor. We have another company that's more regional called Bay State. Yeah, they're not out that way. They're New England, Northeast, Mid-Atlantic company. They're going from North Carolina to New England. So they haven't come out your neck of the woods yet. But Pool Corp and Heritage, and I'm sure there's other people that were at the Mid-Atlantic Pool Show that distribute out that way that Malarkey knows, and they can get you product.
Great. Thank you.
Dan, we've got another question. JW on the call here has a hand raised.
Yeah, Jay, how are you, sir? Thank you for coming. JW?
Maybe unintentional. All right,
Okay.
Jay, we'll come back to you. If you want to use the chat box, we can circle back.
So that's what we use M1 for, repair work, tiles, cracks, things along those lines. If you're going to do an expansion joint, I prefer you to use M1 Marine. If you're going into a residential pool, then I'm not too concerned about M1 or M1 Marine in those applications. Wall secure, again, you're building backyard paradises, and sometimes you have some retaining walls around there, and you got to put the capstone on. The capstone's got to be adhered, right? The wall secure, you can use M1 to do that. You can even use NovaLink 35. But wall secure, the word secure in the ChemLink family means adhesive. So we use it for gluing capstones onto a retaining wall. Again, they can be damp and wet. All that moisture in those stones is just going to help us cure faster.
Dan, JW wrote in the chat, how big of a crack can this handle?
Up to 2 inches wide, and as long as you want it to go. Now, if you're going 2 inches or more, if you're typically what we tell people, how deep do you go, right, on a depth? So we always say go half the length. So if your joint is 3/4 of an inch, we're going to tell you to go 3/8 of an inch deep. If your joint is your crack is 1 inch, we're going to tell you to go half inch deep. Anything over 1 inch, go a half inch deep. You don't have to do the old rule of half the width. So, does that make sense? Everyone?
Yep.
Okay, good. So yes, up to 2 inches. You can do it. Same thing with your coping joints. You can go up to 2 inches. That's everything on that slide. Do anyone have questions? I got one more slide and I'm about done. Hold on. I'm gonna look at my notes, make sure I covered everything. I'll tell you one little story. His name's Gordon. He's from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. A couple of years ago, he brought me this PVC pipe that had M1 all over it. Woman called him up. it was March, maybe it was February. It was after the pool show in Atlantic City in January. And he had saw me demonstrating M1 underwater. And I had given him a tube to take with him. So he threw it on his truck and he had this woman call him up and say, "Hey, my pool's leaking. I'm losing water." So he goes out and he's kind of like looking and he pulls up the lid to the pump room and he looks in there and he can see water coming out of it. He's like, "Oh, how am I gonna fix this?" And he remembered meeting me at the show saying, "I got that stuff in my truck. I'm gonna see if it works." So he went out there and he put it on and he got it all and he smeared it. And it was the ugliest job you've ever seen. But the most important thing is it stopped the water. It might have been ugly. And then he went back out there in May. He cut out the PVC joint and he brought it to me at the show the following year. And says, "Here, show this to all your customers. This is what M1 did for me. I am a believer. I will tell everybody about this product." So, and ever since then, he comes by the booth, he hangs out, and he just tells all the pool people coming by about his experiences with the product. So, so when I send you to put it to test, freeze it, gun it underwater, let it cure, clean up. If you have a towel or a rag with you and you use your finger to tool it, just take your towel and it wipes right off. You don't need harsh cleaners like MEK, acetone, xylene, mineral spirits, lacquer thinner, all that type of stuff. All you need is isopropyl rubbing alcohol or denatured alcohol. Kind of going back to our slide here, right? We apply easily. We have a beautiful finish. We're going to last a long time, 10 plus years. ChemLink checks all the boxes of all the things that are important to you and your customers, right? There's no VOCs, no carcinogens, no isocyanates. We don't discolor. We tool greatly. We're easy to work with. Plastic cartridges. We don't freeze in the wintertime. We don't shrink. We don't smell. Use us inside, outside. I can go on and on and on. That's going to wrap up my presentation. Does anyone have any questions? Where is the stop sharing? So with that, we have a thing called a try me. What is try me? Try me means the Malarkey team came up with this program. We would give you a tube or two of self-leveling to use for a coping joint. And guys would take it and then never use it because they didn't want to use it for this much space and then have to use something else. So the Malarkey team came up with the Try Me program, which means ChemLink will give you enough to do a whole pool. If you tell us what your width of the joint is, what the length of the joint is, what color you want, we will send you enough product. Could be a case, could be 10 tubes, could be 15 tubes, whatever it is. We'll send that plus an extra tube or two just in case we did some poor calculations for you to try the product. And if you like it, again, available at your favorite pool distributor. So we have the Try Me program. I'm willing to send some people some M1. I was showing 10.1 ounce cartridges throughout this presentation, but we also make 5-ounce squeeze tubes. And the 5-ounce squeeze tubes are the most popular M1 product in the pool world. So I sell to the Northeast. I was kind of mentioning where I sell to: solar people, HVAC, window and door people, roofers, siders, a variety of different industries. And typically I sell 10.1 ounce cartridges and 20 ounce sausages. The pool world, they like the squeeze tubes. So I can send you squeeze tubes if that's what you would like. So that's our program. So questions, would you like samples? We'd be glad to send them to you.
You guys, I have a list of everybody who registered. So I will follow up with you via email and send you out the training program and give you my contact information through the email so that if you want more information or follow up, we can have the rep contact you and so forth, and just keep the conversation moving along. And if any questions come up between now and then, just let us know. If nobody has any questions, we'll let you get back to your day, and you'll see an email.
Sorry, Sarah. Mike James
No, that's
asked
okay.
about the NovaLink texture, Dan.
Who asked that question? Because I'm going to say thank you.
Mike James, one of our reps.
Mike, thank you for that question. I didn't really spend much time on that side of it. We make a textured product. It's called NovaLink TX for textured. Comes in 6 colors, 10.1 ounce cartridges. It's just like the NovaLink 35. It's, as they like to say in the pool world, gun grade, non-sag, non-slump, as we like to say in the sealant world, which means it's designed to go vertically as well as horizontally. It's toolable. It's going to skin over in that half hour to 40-minute time. It's going to do everything we just mentioned. No VOCs, no smell, and it's not going to discolor. It's not going to freeze. It's toolable. It works fantastically, except it's textured. It looks like a mortar line and brick. It's got that type of look to it. So what we did was, originally when we first came out with this product, we put sand in it, and then you would get the tube, and the sand did not stay suspended. It all ended up in the bottom of it. So eventually we fixed that problem by going to little pieces of fiberglass that we mix into the formulation. And the fiberglass is light and it stays suspended and it doesn't end up on the bottom of the tube like the sand did. But it looks just like mortar. It looks like grout. It's got that textured finish to it. So, and the other thing we didn't talk about, custom colors. If you wanted to do the little Suprema blue in my background right there, we can manufacture custom colors. In your case, most people go, well, how much am I looking at? 48 tubes, which isn't a lot, considering we used to make people buy 4 skids. Okay. 48 tubes for the right color. Somebody wants, since Paul and Andrew are from Kansas City, I'm going to use the Kansas City Chiefs red or the Kansas City Royals blue, right? If somebody is a big Chiefs or Royals fan, right, and they want that blue, we can match that blue or that red or the yellow in the Kansas City Chief color too, right? So
Right.
when you think about it, right, typically you're going to need a case, maybe a little bit more. Right. A case isn't going to kill you. It's a couple $100. But if somebody is looking to have that color, it's going to be less than $1,000. It's probably going to be around $800. And some people might spend that money for that custom color because it's not outrageous. It's not cheap, but it's not outrageous either. And we can do a custom color. So how do we do a custom color? We will ask you to send a color to the factory. Our R&D is going to match it. We're going to produce it. We're going to send it back to you. If it's perfect, you're going to say produce it. And we're going to put it into manufacturing and it's going to be produced in the next 2 weeks. If it's not perfect and it's too dark or too light, you're going to say lighten it or darken it. And we're going to lighten it or darken it, and we're going to send it to you again until we get it to where you want it. And once we have it where you want it, then it goes into production. And at that point, it's 2 weeks after that. So figure that whole process from beginning to end is 10 to 12 weeks. But after that, If you have somebody who wants that Kansas City Royals blue, we formulated it, right? Now we can produce it. And here's a question I don't know because I'm thinking off the top of my head. Since we already have the Kansas City blue, we're probably going to make you buy the 4 cases. But if we're selling it elsewhere, it might just be a case. So I'm going to tell you 4 cases just to remain on the safe side. We manufacture numerous siding colors, right? And numerous stucco colors to match stucco and siding manufacturers. Once we come up with their color, then typically we have other siding contractors buying it, or stucco or EIFS contractors buying it, so it kind of fits together in all those worlds. So keep that in mind. We can do custom colors. It's not an issue. Just the initial go round you got to give me that amount of time because that's just the process of creating it. So
Dan, quick question. Paul wants to know if NovaLink SL comes in bone or tan.
we'll display this in a color chart, but it comes in stone. If you want the tan comes in the NovaLink 35. And we have other colors in there. I could probably share my screen.
Mike's also asking about colors available in M1 and M1 marine grade.
So M1 marine grade, white, gray, and black, available in 10.1 ounce and sausages. What was the other color they asked for? Sorry.
Paul is asking about NovaLink SL, if it came in bone or tan.
No, I answered that one.
What color does M1 come in?
Sorry.
Question.
White, black, gray, dark bronze, limestone, and tan. I'm showing you guys a color card in a second. Just pulling it up right now. Wrong one. Color cards, where are you? There you go.
Paul and Andrew work together. Do you guys
Correct.
want to just type in the chat if you want a color sample, and we can just follow up with everybody all at once if anybody's interested. I'll just keep track of that, and then we'll get those sent out to you.
Yeah. So here's my color card. Now this is a printed color card, and you're looking at it on a computer screen. But we also have these, and each one has quote unquote a little Hershey kiss on it of each color of the product itself, so you can see exactly what it is. And you can take those little Hershey kisses and put it right up next to the color and look at it and go, that's good or it's not good. So on this particular side, that's the front. This is what the back looks like, right? We show you what the M1 colors are that are available on here. We show you what colors we have in the NovaLink self-leveling, and we show you what we have in the NovaLink 35. So and the one we send you with the little Hershey kisses on it will have this same color profile on the back. So here's dark bronze, limestone, I'm showing you M1 colors, tan, gray, white, and black. The self-leveling, white. This is the stone, Paul. It's not,
Okay.
we have almond up here. I don't know if that's the almond that, everyone's got a different almond. But white stone, black, charcoal gray, white, gray, stone, black, and charcoal gray. I got all 5. Okay. And again, easy enough to get you these. I could show you another picture. I lose my sound.
No.
No.
I hit something that said share sound.
And Andrew has a question, Dan.
Go ahead, Andrew. I'm listening.
Okay, I just had a quick question of as far as the application. You said you used, or one of the guys used it to seal up a leak in plumbing equipment, PVC. I'm assuming that was on the pressure. Do you have any idea where it was applied? Because I had a couple questions as far as what type of pressure, it could actually handle. Could we put it on a pump body or is that too much pressure?
Too much
if we're
pressure.
starting to get a crack on, a pump, or have you guys tried to put it under a lot of pressure?
I'm going to take hydrostatic pressure to win every time. Okay. I wasn't there on that job that day. I assumed it was kind of like a slower leak. It wasn't like it was shooting out. It was pressurized. I mean, if it was shooting out, that's going to win. Right. Lots of times I kind of tell people it depends on where it is. Right. If I can use hydrostatic pressure to my advantage, I'm going to.
Right.
And by that, I mean, if I had a crack in a pool wall, if I put it to the inside or the outside, that pressure is going to push it out. But if I can put it to the inside with some fabric in there, maybe, right? Now hydrostatic pressure is holding it in place. Right? And I get hydrostatic pressure working for me as opposed to against me. Depends on how I'm doing it and what I'm up against. So, but if I'm going to go against hydrostatic pressure, it's usually going to win. In fact, I'm going to tell you it's going to win all the time. So.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Here's the little Hershey Kisses I was kind of telling you about earlier that we can send you these. I'm still sharing my screen, right?
Right.
I have. This kind of shows you the textured colors that we have. And then that's another texture block right there. It's only showing there's three colors on the other side. And this is my self-leveling color box too. And all of these are available to you. Eventually we'll get white in here. They haven't produced, we got a bunch of these in stock. They got to go before they put another order in, and they'll get white put into it. So those are my color choices on the pool side. And we'll send you 10, we'll send you 1, whatever you need. If you need to leave them behind with your customers, please ask. We have them. This has been awesome. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the great questions. Any
Great
others?
question.
Thank you, Dan.
I am a
Thanks,
rat,
Dan.
so thank you everyone for the time. I appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Reach out to Sarah, reach out to Trees, reach out to, Mike James was on this call, your local Malarkey person. They'll either get in touch with me or they'll get in touch with Tim from the Midwest, and we'll get you whatever you need. So again,
All right,
thank you
cool.
for your time
Thank you,
today.
Dan.
Thank you.
Greatly
Thank you,
appreciate
Dan.
everyone coming. You're welcome.
Thank you. I put
Right.
my email address in the chat, so if anybody wanted to reach out to me before I get to you, but again, I'll follow up with you guys in an email. Let us know if you have any questions and how we can support you and keep the conversation going. Thank you all so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend.
Goodbye.